So, we've had a wonderful lineup of presenters that we've heard, and from the Intercept Zero crisis response to reentry options, we've learned new and innovative ideas on how to move the courts toward a recovery-oriented system of care model. It's been humbling to see how everyone from the front line to judges are here working together to brainstorm how we can better serve justice-involved individuals with specialized needs. And from my point of view, everybody that I've talked to over the days that we've been here, everybody has been very positive about what a great experience this has been. Even on Wednesday, this room was full. Every chair was full. And so that was great. And so we have a few empty chairs now, but it's still, I'd say over half the room is full. And that's really good. So for a lot of conferences, there is a lot of bleed off on the last day.
Now, I will note, in the last couple of days, I've had the pleasure of being the last speaker at the end of a day on a couple sessions, and I'm going, either as the last speaker, either you're a gifted speaker or you're really good at clearing the room out as soon as the conference is over. And I'm not quite sure what they've got me up here for today, but I will tell you that it is a pleasure being up here. It's a pleasure being up here with these gentlemen. As I was preparing to come up here today, I was texting back and forth with Deputy Chief Justice Lambert, and she is the chair of our commission. And I can tell you, she is so dedicated to this project, and she has worked tirelessly. In my 28 years of a judge, I don't think I've ever had this many executive committee meetings, this many phone calls, and this much preparation for a conference. And it's attributable to Chief Justice Lambert and the effort that she has placed in.
Deputy Chief Justice Lambert.
Okay. You can probably guess we get a little territorial over these titles, rightfully so, and I do apologize. But my point was, she has worked tirelessly, and I think most of you have known they've announced this week. She found out Wednesday that her son had some serious health issues, and she had to fly out, and that's exactly what she should have done. You take care of your family.
And just a quick, we've got a note from her this morning that actually the health issue, it looks like it's going to be successfully resolved, so that's good news.
Yes. On behalf of the Commission, Deputy Chief Justice Lambert, myself, and all the members of the Commission, we want to thank you. I can tell you that probably 3 or 4 months ago on our planning committee, we were sitting there going, can we get 500? Do you think we can get 600 to come out? And it's like, well, who do we invite? And I was absolutely amazed when they called me as I was driving down Tuesday to say we've hit the 1,100 mark, or I think it was right at 1,100. And I can tell you that in my 28 years, this has been the most amazing conference I think I've had the opportunity to attend, and it's attributable to you, the people that are sitting back there, and we are so appreciative. I also want to tell you that I've never had the opportunity to speak at the closing of a session where I had this many people still here, and there were no more door prizes. So, we appreciate you so much. But there are so many people to thank up here, and inevitably you're going to miss somebody. But on behalf of the Commission, there are some people that I would like to recognize. And texting back and forth with Deputy Chief Justice Lambert, she has asked me to express her appreciation, and a lot of the words that I'm sharing with you today are directly attributable to her thoughts. First, I want to thank our Supreme Court. I think it's appropriate. That plus the fact I know the pecking order around here, but no. Oh, yeah, get that applause. No, I do. I want to thank Chief Justice Van Meter. It is through the effort of the Supreme Court that this commission was established. It is through their effort that we're here today, and I would be remiss if I did not point that out and thank them so much for that. Deputy Chief Justice Lambert has asked me to share with you her sincere apology again for not being able to be here today. For those that are on the executive committee, I'm to remind you, per her instruction, we do still have a meeting left after this is over, and she will be in attendance through a Zoom session. I was thinking her impression is we might try to slip out, but she will be present with us. I apologize. Okay. I thought they were telling me updating something with him, but again, we want to thank you guys for being here and the work you've done. We know that each of you will continue to take this out into the communities. You know, as I think about it, and over the years, it's not what we do up here. We have been blessed, and we, quote unquote, have the titles or whatever that may be. But I'm smart enough, and each of us on this stage is smart enough to realize we accomplish nothing in the state, in the Commonwealth, without you. Every session I've been to this week, the terminology utilized was collaboration, and it is a collaboration. Without you, this is just the impetus to get people out there and working on the subject. The answer is sitting back there. The answer is out in the community, and anything we've ever, be it the initiation of family courts, it's always been our communities in Kentucky that come together and pull these things off. You know, we hear always about the issue of funding, finances, and we are blessed. We know our legislative and executive branches fully support this project. We know they're going to be there, and we know the funding's going to be there. But it's key for us to go back to our communities to get the community involvement so we can come up with plans as we approach the legislature and ask for funding to help us. And again, that's on this group. And this group, I know, is a tireless group of workers, and we just appreciate so much you want to be here. You know, as I said here today, I also want to thank our administrative office of the courts. They have worked so hard behind the scenes to pull this off. And for those of you here, and I know Miss Mitchell sitting back there cringes, Shauna, when I congratulate her, but I cannot begin to imagine the hours she's put in the preparation. And for those of you here, please give her a round of applause, and our staff. This has to have been one of the most efficiently run events I've ever had the pleasure of attending, and that's directly attributable to the administrative office, the courts, and their respective staffs, and we do appreciate the time and effort they've put into it. We also want to give special thanks to this gentleman sitting to my right, and that's Secretary Friedlander. Him and his amazing staff have worked tirelessly with us in the preparation of this event, with the suggestions and helping the commission, and honestly, we would not be here without his cabinet, his staff, and it's through his leadership, and we want to appreciate him for that. I can also tell you that in my 28 years of a judge, especially during my years as a family court judge, I could not have done that job without the help of the cabinet and the work they did. Underappreciated, but greatly respected, and I think that's attributable to their leadership, and we appreciate you for being here with us. You know, we are also very blessed in the Commonwealth to have a unified court system, and a lot of people don't realize and appreciate that, but I sincerely believe, not because I'm part of the court system, but I have the utmost respect for the court system and those that work in it. But we are blessed to have a system that allows us to go out and to set up commissions like this to try to do what we can as a system to help the people of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. And again, sometimes I don't, as we say in church, we don't appreciate the blessings we have. And truly, the unified court system is a blessing. If you compare it to some of the other states, I think you would fully appreciate that. And we appreciate, again, our court system and what they do for us. I say all that to get to this point. We have all the people to thank for preparing the program. This program would not have been anything. This program has no chance of success without you. You are the ones, as I've said earlier, you are the ones that's going to make this success. I don't set up here as a cheerleader. I set up here to acknowledge what I see. And what I see is a room full of people devoted and caring that want to help their neighbors, their friends, and their family members. Often over the years, we want to focus on issues of drugs, very important issue, and I'm so appreciative. But we often hear the phrase used at these conferences is everybody, drugs cut across all families and affect all families. Well, I will tell you, mental health issues affect all of our families. I guarantee you at every table here, we have someone in the family, someone we know, someone we love and care for that suffers from mental health issues. And it's time we step up, and it's time we step up and try to help those individuals. And I ask the question that's often posed, if not us, who? Often people will say, well, that's not for the court to do. And I want to go, well, if we don't step up and do it, who's going to step up and do it? So thank you so much. And I know each and every one of you are going to leave here fired up with the zeal you've shown us this week and take it back to your communities, and we'll continue this progress together. Reminds me of a quote, and I'm not a huge quote person, but and it's an odd one from a judicial standpoint, but it's from Mother Teresa, but I think it's so applicable to this group. And she said, none of us, including me, ever do great things, but we can all do small things with great love, and together we can do something great. I am absolutely convinced this group has the potential to do something great for the Commonwealth of Kentucky and our citizens, and I'm so appreciative of you being here. Thank you.
So I do want to say I concur an A+ on all the thank yous. Not an A- for you, an A+.
There you go. Check them off.
I believe now we want to show a video,
Yes.
kind of doing a brief recap of the conference we've all experienced together.
You know, the one thing I think a lot, I'm from Clark County, so, you know, nobody likes to have something imposed from Frankfurt, and I don't, except when I'm doing it on Chief Judge Thompson, and he has to do what I tell him to do. But really, the solutions are in your community. So I just want to thank you all again for staying with us this whole time and making the difference, and safe travels on your journey home. Thank you so much.
We have one more thing.
Okay.
It's very rare that anybody gets to have the last word relative to a Supreme Court justice, just let me say. So I feel very honored for that. Thank you all for asking me.
I still have a microphone.
So just to briefly, I promise, wrap up. One of the things you think about when you think about sobriety, right? The first step in a 12-step program is the first thing you have to do is admit you have a problem. We came here and we admitted we had a problem. We had presenters from really across the country, well done, that I think inspired us, challenged us. Judge Leifman, right, talking about our systems, that we engage in displacement and not mitigation. That deinstitutionalization, when you think about it, was just a switch to addiction. We went from mental health hospitals and now jails are the new asylum. We heard somebody say that earlier. People that are getting arrested not in spite of their behavioral health issues, but because of their behavioral health issues and substance use issues. Our systems seem to challenge and put people back who have behavioral health issues, substance use issues, developmental intellectual delays, right? Our systems create trauma. Started off asking the question, we know the impact of poverty and trauma on our systems. What's the impact of our systems on poverty and trauma? We have to ask those questions of each other. I think I was going to call it a Zen question, but I think it is, like, which system is more difficult, the judicial system to navigate or the healthcare system to navigate? I'm not sure there's an answer to that question. You know, it's one of those snatch the pebble from my hand. And Dr. Vincent really challenged us on that point. Dr. Balfour talked about this morning accountability, bringing these folks up from the local counties to talk about what they're going to do together and what they're going to change together, and collaboration. What a tremendous demonstration of that. And data, something we all have to work on. Asking the question, how do we get out of our own way sometimes and not throw like HIPAA or whatever in the way of collaboration? We have to get through that. And I really want to end with something Sam challenged us with. He talked about, and I think this is something we all have to hold on to. We are strongest in community. The anecdote for what we see going on is that we are strongest in community. We are as resilient as our least resilient population. And that the least of us resides in all of us. And so what we need to do when we leave here, we've got a little statement for you too. What we need to do when we leave here is continue this work. This is the springboard. This conference is the springboard for local folks to get together to make a difference and to make a difference in our systems. So let's do this. Let's work for each other. Let's work for the people that are in our communities to make our communities better places to live. Because when we lift each of us up, we lift all of us up. So, have a little statement coming out of this work. And it's a declaration. And that is, we're going to meet as the commission later on, but this is for the adoption, and this is inspired by what we did here this week. An outcome of the Mental Health Summit held on 5/31 and 6/2 of this year. The Kentucky Judicial Commission on Mental Health declares as follows. The Commission reaffirms their obligation to explore, recommend, and implement transformational changes to improve system-wide responses to justice-involved individuals experiencing mental health, substance use, and intellectual and/or developmental disabilities. The Commission acknowledges their deep and abiding commitment to intentionally collaborate within and among Commission members, committees, work groups, local communities to further the vision and mission of the Commission. The Commission recognizes the significance of engaging justice-involved individuals with lived mental health, substance use, and intellectual and/or developmental disabilities experience in all aspects of the Commission's work. And so this is the call to action. The Commission hereby encourages attendees, actually, we're demanding attendees to commit to the implementation of strategies identified in the community jurisdiction action plans to engage, lead, and mobilize change in our communities. The Commission hereby commits to supporting the county jurisdiction plan implementation through legislative recommendations, ongoing professional development, and technical assistance and consultation, and we are going to continue to work together until we make Kentucky a better place. Thank you all.